Hey guys, and welcome back to another FM21 Transfer Guide with me, Raxo FM, where today we are going through 3 signings and 3 sales for Manchester City, a team that have gotten a lot of money recently and a lot of success recently. Unlike a couple of the other teams of world football, they have definitely used their money to their advantage. However, they have still not won a Champions League. So if you want to see me win a Champions League with this Manchester City side, I have just started a road to the Champions League with Manchester City, so click the iCard above if you're interested in that save. And while you're doing that, you may as well like and subscribe to the Raxo FM channel so that you don't miss the daily Football Manager content that is going to be coming your way. Unsurprisingly, with this club, there's a lot of money into it. The board do want you to have some success, but in terms of club culture, they want you to play attacking football, use the youth system. They also want you to sign high reputation players, which we will be keeping an eye on in today's episode, as well as playing entertaining and possession football. They want us to sign young players for a profit, which we don't mind doing, as well as maintaining the club status as the most reputable team in England. Didn't know they had that, but we'll go with it. Work within the wage budget, always able to do that. And within the first season, they want you to reach the semi-final of the Champions League, challenge for the Premier League, reach the final of the FA Cup, but they don't care about the Carabao Cup. So, don't get too stressed out. You don't have to win the Carabao Cup. But at the very least, the club do give you a decent amount of money. All things considered, £38 million for the first season of an FM save is absolutely insane for this year. 100% of the transfer revenue that you bring in is going straight into that as well. And with some pretty high reputation, high value players, it's going to be easy to turn that £38 million into, £70 million. We'll have to find out how much we can make. And first of all, we're going to make our 3 sales to hopefully make it at least, £50 million would be a decent goal. The first player that we're reluctantly getting rid of is Eric Garcia, and I think we all know why we're getting rid of him. He doesn't want to stay at the club. He's going on a free transfer. There's nothing about him that is going to tell you that he's got a future at this club. He wants to leave. It's going to happen. You got to make sure that you get some money for him while you still can. He's 19 years of age, got plenty of potential, but it's just the fact that it's either sell him now for a wee bit of money or wait for his contract to run out and get nothing for him. I think I'd be the intelligent man and go ahead and sell him right now. Even though he's a wonder kid, even though he's a great potential player, if you can find out how to re-sign him, be my guest, but I'd be cashing in. In this save, I managed to sell the man to PSG for £17.25 million. Now, that's a wee bit under his value, but obviously the teams know that he's available for a free at some point. So this is definitely a decent deal. I would preferably not want to be giving one of the best future players in world football to a fierce rival if you're trying to win the Champions League, but cashing in on him now is definitely going to be a good decision, and in the future it's going to be hugely beneficial. So £17 million right now, in comparison to nothing, I think we all know what we'd take. Next up, we've got Zach Steffen. He is our backup goalkeeper who's definitely not a bad player, a wee bit of potential, but he's just not going to crack into the starting lineup at any point in his career. And if you do compare him with our other goalkeeper option, who is Scott Carson, he's not a whole lot better. If anything, he's not better. And you may as well just put the old man on the bench. Cash out on this youngster while you can, because he is worth £14.5 million. He's never going to turn into a world-class goalkeeper. He's never going to take over Emerson. It's just not going to happen. If we do take a look, he's miles away from him, although he is slightly better in shot stopping. I just have realised I called Ederson Emerson, so I'm not exactly proud of that one. But he's definitely not going to be the best goalkeeper you'll ever have in your Football Manager saves. He was someone I brought in for one of my other 3 transfers and 3 sales, so I'm not exactly proud of this one, but he's got to go, and you can cash out on him now when he's still got a wee bit of value. In this save, I did manage to get rid of him to Brighton, but I will admit I didn't get a very good fee for him, £6.25 million. I know that you can get more for him than this, but I really did just want to prove that you could get rid of him, and to be honest, it was becoming a wee bit of a hassle after quite some time of trying to get this man out of the club. But it's not a bad fee for someone you're not going to be using at all. If you can get closer to that £14 million value, that is going to be a brilliant deal for you. I just don't think he's got any place in the Manchester City squad in this save. In real life, who knows? But it's time to cash in. £7.5 million? I don't even think I got that much. 6.25. Even that is a decent amount of money. Hopefully. And last but not least, this man is going to be your money maker. Riyad Mahrez is going to be leaving Manchester City. He's already wanted by Barcelona without me even clicking simulation once. He's got some great stats. He's got a lot of ability, but he's not got the potential, and he's 29 years of age. And if we actually compare him with the other players that we do have in and around his position, for example, we'll take a look at him in comparison to Bernardo Silva. If I can actually find Bernardo Silva, here we go down here. He's not quite as good, unfortunately. Compare him with Raheem Sterling, and we can also see that he's not as good. He's not got the ability to be starting for this team. He'd be a great rotation option, but he's got a value of £51 million, boys and girls. It is time to cash in while you still can. We bought him in for £60 million back in the day, but it's definitely time to get rid of him so that we can actually get some money for him and then reinvest that money into better transfers for the future and to keep the squad fresh as possible. Might even need to be another right wing slash left wing option to cover for him, but it's time. Just get the money. Just get the money. In this save, I've managed to sell him to Real Madrid, and I got only £36 million for him. But if you do actually take a look at it, it could rise to £58 million. This is the only big offer that I got, so I thought I'd accept it. But I know for a fact you can get more money than him for him in this, because of my actual Manchester City save. I got somewhere between 40 and 50 million pounds for the man. Even 36 million pounds is a pretty good deal for him, but he's definitely going to go up in value at some point in this save. He's just not going to be a great option for you to start with, and I think that money is going to be better used elsewhere. It's time to find out where we are using that money elsewhere, but first we've got to take a look at the team. Even with all of our sales, when we analyse our squad, it is still an incredible starting 11. Aguero, Sterling, De Bruyne, I could go on and on about this squad. But where do they have their gaps? We need to go into the squad depth page to actually take a look at this. Striker, it's not too bad. Don't get me wrong, Aguero and Gabriel Jesus are great options up there. However, Aguero is getting older. It might be worth bringing in a backup option. Maybe someone a wee bit better than Gabriel Jesus or of a similar level to rotate in that sort of position. But definitely not the most important position at all. At Cam, I think you're basically covered. Phil Foden's coming through the ranks. De Bruyne is in there right now. No one else needs to be signed. It's a done deal. On the left-hand side, we've got Sterling, Silva, Foden, Gabriel Jesus, a lot of people that wouldn't be traditionally considered to be a left winger in that position. And even if we go to the more page, we can see that there's actually not a lot of options out there. Zinchenko is probably the best one behind Sterling that's an actual out-and-out left winger. So I'd say that could be an area that we could look to be strengthening. On the right-hand side, it is a wee bit stronger though, with Silva, Bernardo Silva being able to play out there. But again, sort of the similar sort of situation with not so many people being out-and-out right wingers, although we do have Ferran Torres coming through the ranks, who's definitely a right winger. So I think left wing is probably more crucial than right wing at this point in time, but either of them could certainly be targeted. In the central midfield spot, we can discard De Bruyne, because De Bruyne is a cam. That's where we're playing him. He is going to be a central attacking midfielder for us. But even then, it's still got a lot of great options. Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Gundogan. But if you actually analyse it, really take a look at it, you don't actually have a whole lot of cover. Because if you're starting Bernardo Silva out on the wing, De Bruyne up in cam, you've only got Fernandinho, Rodri, and Gundogan. I mean, Foden's going to be more of a cams, and Zinchenko's going to be more of a winger slash left back. You don't actually have 4 central midfielders that are going to be in there, which I think is a real issue for a team like Manchester City that want to rotate as much as they are. So I think this is definitely a position that you do need to highlight. Even though you have options, you don't have real out-and-out options that aren't going to be playing in different positions at all. So I think that's one to target. Right back, you got 2 world-class ones, Kyle Walker, Cancelo. It's not even an option. It's not even an issue. Over here, we do have not great options, though. On the left-hand side, it's only Mendy, who has been debatably average in his time in a Manchester City shirt. And even without him, the only other option is Zinchenko. And Zinchenko's more of a winger, central midfielder, cam. I don't know. He's got a lot of versatility. I don't know if you just want to be relying on that man as the backup. And the man that we actually would be starting, Mendy, is considered to be the worst left back at the club, so I think that's definitely a position that you need to target. Centre back, I think, would be a position I'd want to target if they hadn't just brought in Ruben Diaz. He's a great signing, and next to Laporte, that is a great option. You've also got John Stones and Nathan Ake as centre back options. Yeah, absolutely fine. And in goalkeeper, you got Ederson and Carson. Yes, a better backup option would be brilliant, but I think cashing in on Stefan is the best option. And yeah, it's not that crucial to bring in a backup goalkeeper. But if you've got some cash left over, I would probably make that my next signing. But we're now going to take into account what we have decided. We have decided that a striker would be nice, not crucial though. Left wing / right wing, maybe more favoured to the left wing side. We definitely need a central midfielder, definitely need a left back. Every other position, kind of okay. So with all of those positions in mind, the first signing that we are making is Ferland Mendy. We've got both of the brothers, at least I think they're brothers. I mean, they look similar and they're both French and they have, yeah, they've got to be brothers. I'm not even going to bother checking. He's coming for only £15.5 million from Real Madrid. He's only had one season there and he hasn't done great. £43 million, we're getting him at a real cut price. Yes, it does have the option to increase, but only to £18.5 million. I wish I did this signing in my actual Manchester City save, because in my Real Madrid save, click the iCard if you want to watch that one, this man was an absolute beast. He is a brilliant left back option, and he's quite young as well, 25 years of age, got a lot of ability about him. I think for only £15 million, this is an absolute no-brainer for any save that you need a left back for, but definitely for this Manchester City one. Next up, we've got Lorenzo Pellegrini, who is filling in that central midfield spot. Could play as a cam as well, but I mean, we don't really need a cam. He's definitely more of a central midfielder in my eyes. He's got plenty of brilliant stats in there, with only a couple being in the orange or red. Yes, this is the way I set it up. I think it looks nice. Do you not think these colours look way nicer than the normal colours? But finishing and penalty taking are the only ones. So shooting would probably be what I would be training him on. But aside from that, he's a really good overall player who can play any position, any role, in that central midfield area. And he comes in for only £25.5 million. What an absolute steal for a player that's already considered to be one of the best central midfielders at the club. 3-star current ability, already had a value increase. Either foot, I could say brilliant things about this man for quite some time. 24 years of age as well, I've just added that in there. But I think I'll let him do the speaking when you do end up signing him. He's a great signing in every year of Football Manager. This year's no difference. Welcome to Manchester City. £25 million. That's an absolute steal. And last, but certainly not least, if you've watched any of my Football Manager saves this year, you will know how much I love this man. Memphis Depay has come to Manchester City. He can play left wing, he can play striker, he can play cam, and he covers all of those positions perfectly. He can even play on the right hand side if you really need him to. What a signing this man is. And for £20 million, boys and girls. Ignore the fact that it can go up to 27, but even that is still an absolute bargain for a man that is already worth £33.5 million. He has got to be my go-to signing in every single season of Football Manager that I play this year. He is such a good player in every sense of the word. He's got pace, he's got finishing. His stats aren't crazy, insanely good, but he's got all the right ones at a high enough level in every single area to be a world-class player. He can play on that left-hand side, and he can even be a striking option if you don't like Aguero or Gabriel Jesus, but I definitely want him as a rotation option in that left wing position. Can play out on the right-hand side when you need him to. Yeah, bring in Memphis Depay. He is definitely going to be one of the best signings you ever make in Football Manager 2021. And even with all those sales, you've still got £22 million to play with. So if you don't like one of them, just upgrade them to a better player. I know that I've gone with a pretty conservative budget here, but that's because the Mahrez deal didn't go through for quite some time. But they're all players that you don't need. You sell them. They're all players that you do need. You bring them in. It's brilliant tactical analysis from me. And if we go over here and we go to quick pick without restrictions, I will admit, none of the players do get put into the lineup, although I have no idea why Mendy isn't being put ahead of the other Mendy, because he's probably better, although the fact that he's only better in speed is making it look a bit bad for me. But ignore that, completely ignore that. He's definitely a better player. I swear he's a better player. But none of them are starters. But that's because when you've got a team like Manchester City, you don't really need to edit a whole lot. You just need to strengthen that core and make sure that you have great rotation options. Pellegrini could definitely start in central midfield instead of Gundogan. You could also put Depay in instead of Sterling or Aguero if you really wanted to. But that's not the point that I'm trying to make in this video. The point of what I'm trying to make in this video is strengthen the side to a point where every single player that is in the squad could be a starter, and I think that's exactly what I've done. So if you're doing a Manchester City save, these are the signings I would recommend making. Make sure that you do let me know down in the comment section below if you think I've done a good job. Make sure to let me know who I should do next for the 3 signings and 3 sales. But without any further ado, we're going to end this episode. Make sure you do check out the Football Manager 2021 Manchester City Road to the Champions League save, as well as subscribing to the Raxo FM channel. And I will see you all later.